Hey guys, it's Jen, and today I wanted to share with you my April favorites. They're not only just favorites, but they're products that I've been using every single day, especially because I traveled a lot this month and I basically had a very curated makeup bag because I didn't want to take too much. So I'm really excited to share with you. I'm going to start off with one of my favorites this month, and that is the Urban Decay Naked Petite Heat palette. I've been using this here and there, but for the last couple of weeks especially, I've been basically using this non-stop. I am super obsessed, and out of Urban Decay's Petite palettes, this is by far my favorite because it just has every color that I wish I had in a miniature palette. It has one of the best highlight shades out of any palette. This reminds me a lot of the lightest shade in the original palette, so it's a creamy color that has just a little hint of satiny shimmer to it. Not too over the top, but also works really well on the tear ducts or on the brow bone. It has a couple of great transitional colors. I really love Hot Spell, which is your typical mid-tan color. But then I have to say, my favorite two shades are Heist and Strike, which are the darkest two. This is mainly a matte palette. Other than this lightest shade, they're all really matte colors and they're all very warm toned. Obviously, it's a Petite Heat palette, so it does have those really rich coppery orangey tones to it. Compared to other mattes from other companies, these are so buttery, so creamy, they're really easy to blend, and you gotta love how it's tiny. It's teeny tiny, about the size of a credit card or so, and it's also very thin, so it's perfect for traveling and also perfect if you just don't want to deal with like a million choices in your eyeshadow and you just have a really concise look that you want to go for. I love it. Next, I wanted to talk about a new foundation that I am over the moon about, and it's so funny because I try so many foundations and it's just not every day that I come across a new one where I'm like completely blown away. And this is a very full coverage foundation. I feel bad saying this, but I didn't necessarily expect to be so obsessed with this one, but the formula just looks so good when I wear this all day. I know I talked about the new NARS foundation fairly recently, and I do love that one for a full coverage look for the first couple of hours, but it does tend to kind of break apart on me after time. But this one, this is the Lancome Teint Idole Ultra Wear foundation. This looks good on me all day, and it does have that full coverage look. It doesn't feel too heavy and cakey on my face. This color matches my skin so well, and it has a really nice yellow undertone to it. So this particular shade is 270 Bisque W. So I'm wondering if that's like a warm bisque color. I would say if you're similar to my skin tone, this tends to lean on the lighter side, so this is sort of like my winter shade, but I really like it. I feel like it doesn't necessarily get really orangey and oxidize over time. It has a very beautiful finish, so I absolutely love it. It's my favorite full coverage foundation. I know I talked about the Smashbox Photo Finish Original Primer last month, but as the weather has been getting a little bit warmer and it's been a little sunnier, I like having a little bit of like natural sun protection. So I've been using the Hourglass Veil Mineral Primer. This has SPF 15 built into it. So on days where I'm being like really lazy and not putting on a second sunscreen, I've been using this as my primer, and it just has such a lovely finish. The lightweight feel compared to silicone primers. I love it. It's oil-free, doesn't break me out, and it's mineral based. I haven't ever really had any problems with it whatsoever, but this is one of my long time holy grails because it really does make a difference when you wear this and when you don't. I did a test several years ago. I did half of my face with the primer and half without, and by the end of the day you could definitely see a difference. So if you have not tried this, I highly recommend it. This is one of the few primers where I'm like, oh my gosh, you absolutely have to check it out. If I could only use one primer for the rest of my life for my foundation, this would be it. I've been using it a ton this month. Had to mention it. Next, I wanted to talk about a setting powder that I have been really loving this month and using quite a lot. During my pregnancy, it's interesting because my skin type has kind of changed a little bit. Before I was pregnant, I was a little drier, and then after pregnancy, I started producing a lot more oils. So I have had to go from using more of a hydrating setting powder color to something a little more oil absorbing, and I feel like this is right down the middle. It doesn't make me look shiny after I wear it for a few hours, but it also doesn't suck my skin completely dry. It's just a really basic powder. This is from the Patrick Star MAC collection. You know, Patrick is huge on setting powders, very opinionated about them, use it a lot to like bake and set his makeup, and he always looks pristine. So I wanted to make sure to try it out, and I've been very, very happy with it. I mean, it does what it says it's gonna do. Has the holes in the top. It's a little bit of a peachy pink color, but when it's on your skin, it's of course translucent. Again, doesn't make me too shiny or too dry. Finally, the last product I wanted to talk about is an eye cream that is my perfect Goldilocks eye cream from Drunk Elephant. You guys know I am such a huge fan of Drunk Elephant. I love basically everything from their lineup, but I have found that some of the eye creams I've tried from them before, it was a little on the lighter, waterier side for my personal taste. I don't like things to feel really like greasy or heavy on my eyelids, but I also don't want something that where I just put it on, it just kind of disappears, and then I wake up in the morning and I feel a little bit tight around my eye area. I need it to be a little bit creamy, but also not too heavy. So I feel like this is right in the middle. This is a new product from them. It's called the C-Tango Multivitamin Eye Cream, and it firms and brightens. To be honest, I don't have like really terrible under eye circles or anything, so I'm really going more off of the texture and immediate feeling of the eye cream, which is honestly how I judge most eye creams. I don't wake up with extremely like tight skin around my eyes. It feels heavy enough to work, but light enough where I don't feel like my pores are getting clogged. It doesn't give me any milia or anything like that. So I highly recommend it if you like the same kind of eye cream that I do. So that is about it for this month's favorites. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you did, I would of course love it if you would subscribe, and if you don't already have notifications turned on, hit that little bell down below because that'll let you know when my next videos are gonna come out. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!